clear. Coming through Geocache Talk. A voice on the line I hear. Coming through Geocache Talk.
A stunning symbol of adventure, community, and storytelling. Its bold design shines with vibrant colors and a cool retro look. It's more than just a coin. It's a badge of geocaching passion. You can be part of the journey by supporting Geocache Talk on Patreon. Your patronage helps create inspiring shows, grow the community, and keep the adventure going. Join the network at patreon.com/geocachetalk.
Geocachers, it's time to celebrate your achievement. Introducing the brand new Jasmer Challenge GeoCoins, designed to honor your dedication to one of the toughest geocaching challenges out there. Each coin represents a completed loop of the Jasmer Challenge, marking your journey through the history of geocaching. Whether you've conquered Loop 1, Loop 2, Loop 3, or gone all the way to Loop 4, there's a coin for you. These stunning GeoCoins were designed by renowned coin artist Christian Mackey, known for his incredible craftsmanship and attention to detail. And at just $25 each, they're a must-have for any serious cacher. Don't wait. Grab yours today in the Geocache Talk shop and show the world that you've mastered the Jasmer Challenge.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
All right, here we are.
Woo.
All right.
Howdy.
Hang on a second. Let's do this real quick. Big thanks to our new patrons. We don't have any new patrons.
We need some new patrons.
We need new patrons. $3 a month, you get a coin. I mean, come on.
You get a lot of other sweet perks too.
Yeah, a lot of sweet perks. We're adding on to the patrons. We got plans in place. We're building off of that, so we're very excited about. And on top of that, I want to say that we have some dedicated patrons that have been fabulous for us. So, if you're a current patron, we thank you deeply. So, you're locked into the group because we need them. We need our patrons. They are the lifeblood of the Geocache Talk Network. And I've got a few featured patrons. They are from the states, provinces, and countries that start with the letter O. And they are Brian, Dusty, Jason, Paul, Lauren, Emily, Benjamin, and Ron. So thank you to our featured patrons and all our patrons that keep this show and all the shows on the air. And now we'll bring in the rest of the group tonight. There's everybody. And our guest, Jim. Thanks, Jim, for being with us tonight. Can you hear? Did you hear? You there, Jim?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Thanks for being with us tonight, buddy. We are going to start with our twig, which is This Week in Geocaching. And John, I know you had to pare yours down, so I guess I'm going to let you start, man.
Yeah, sounds good, guys. There was just so much geo awesomeness going on in my geocaching world this past week that, it's been an amazing week when you kind of really have to pare down what you're doing. But I got to tell you this, it was so cool. It was, when was it? It was either Monday or late Sunday, right? I get this message from a retired guy, and he goes, hey, unfortunately we have Blizzard Gaddon, Sloth 96 and him are doing this epic trip. They can't get back to Boston because of a storm. So he's like, how about I swing through your way and get pickle pizza? And I was like, absolutely. So I got to bring up on this one because I know we posted this on social media, but just to take a look at what Retired Guy and Sloth 96 did. And big shout out to them, because if you've seen the Cache Odyssey leaderboard, it's because of Retired Guy and Sloth 96.
That's right. You're exactly right.
But check out these stats, guys. Okay, so 8 Cache Odyssey caches, 1 mega event Bamarama, 1 pickle pizza, 3 Buckies. They had to make sure they noticed, they kept track of all the Buckies, 3 souvenirs, 13 states, 3 Adventure Lab Geo Arts, and 3,234 miles traveled in 4 days. Like, how epic is that? Of a trip.
That's a lot.
And
Incredible.
and I just got to bring up because when they swung by, here was the pickle pizza. We had to make sure we got it, and it was just awesome doing that, and it was just such an awesome time to do that. But it's kind of funny because like they get out, right, and Sloth 96 and retired guy, and it was Doug. He just goes, as you will notice, we have no winter coats, and we're like traveling through like blizzard type conditions, and it's like, why do we have no winter coats? Because we were going to Alabama, and we thought we'd be flying back to Boston.
You never know. Sometimes.
Yeah, but it was just so awesome to catch up with the man. True, highlight of my week. And I always tell people, like, if you're swinging through and you want to do pizza, let me know. Always great to catch up. And oh man, this week in pizza, Jen. Yes, thank you for doing that, Jen. This week in pizza, we have a beautiful chicken bacon ranch pizza that was shared in our Lily Pad chat group. So if you're not in Lily Pad chat, please join. And this was submitted by Steve Riley, who was on the show before when we talked about like putting caches on private property, but also in this week in geocaching, or this week in pizza, excuse me.
Bring the QR code back up. Sorry.
Oh man, yeah, we got to do it. Here's a QR code for chat. So
yeah, I had it blocked with Jen's comment, but
yeah, so join it. But guys, I was also surprised by your really sweet gift that was mailed to me. It was from BNJ Bish. I don't have a picture, so I'm not going to show it, and I'm not going to go into details yet. I will next week.
Okay.
But big shout out to them. I was really surprised, and that was really cool getting that. So I'm going to have to show that one. But a few other highlights from this week I got to talk about. Mm-hmm. I found a couple of caches from a newer cacher, Motown 9051. Okay. Really high quality, really 3D printed, and just awesome. Good. So big shout out to them for hiding some really good quality caches to start out.
Excellent.
That was really cool. And I got to share too, guys, one of the logs I got this week, which was an awesome log. It was from Heck Yes 3. I had a new cache published, C is for Cookie, and Heck Yes 3 brought their Geodog to get that cache, and it was the first cache their Geodog ever found with them.
Yeah,
on that one.
Nice.
So they had the picture on the cache page, and it was just so cool, right? But another quick shout out I want to give Dove78, my friend Dove78.
Yep.
Her goal for this year was to get 10 finds on every single calendar day, and she just finished it on Friday. So
that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and it was one where she's like been planning on it. She's like, this is going to be the year. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it. And sure enough, she did. So big shout out to her, right?
That's a lot of dedication to try to get 10 on every single day.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, over time, obviously, right? But like, I remember just getting the calendar and wanting to quit.
Right,
right. I was like, okay, like that big long year streak, and I was like, this is horrible.
I have
I can't do this anymore.
If somebody told you, Jesse, like, wait a minute, there's a challenge out there. If you do 10 per day of the 365 challenge, you'd be like, nope, I'm out.
No, I'd probably do it. If it's a challenge, I'd probably do it. But I might get divorced in the meantime, but I'd probably try it anyway. We'll see what happens.
That's awesome.
And I just appreciate it because, I mean, people like leveling up, and just saying like, here's the goal that I want to do. Like that is just so cool. I don't know if I'd ever do that myself, but hey man, shout out to her, Yeah,
you always got to find something new to try, right? So that's awesome.
Absolutely. And I just got to put one other item out there, guys, is Operation Worldwide Cache Hide. I got a message from Nancy of the Deadliest Cachers, and she just wanted to send out a reminder about Operation Worldwide Cache Hide. So this year it's actually Gamer Edition, which is pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
But the big thing, and mark all your calendars on here, because April 9th is the day where all those Worldwide Cache Hide caches are going to get published. So all around the world, there's going to be some pretty awesome caches out there. And if you want to hide, there's still time. So if you want to hide for this year to get it out there on April 11th, make sure you work with your hider, get that scheduled in, try to submit that cache, hopefully a couple weeks in, beforehand, just to be safe. But if you want to find out any more about Worldwide Cache Hide, just go to geocachingcentral.com, and then you can check out all those details. So a lot of awesome things, guys, in This Week in Geocaching My Way.
Mass published on April 11th.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Jesse's probably got more than me. I got a couple things I wanted to put out there if I can. Thank you, sir. First is that if you buy anything off of Amazon, we would encourage people to add this link to your browser, however you want to put it out there. And that is Amazon.com/shop/Geocache Talk Network. By doing that and you buy anything, then we can get a little bit of a small kickback. And if we all do it, then it will help the Geocache Talk Network to pay for lots of cool stuff. The other thing that I wanted to point out too in that kind of URL world is that we want people to really stay tuned. We're going to be adding new merch, not just in our shop, but we're also going to add merch in as far as shirts go, because we're kind of getting into that time of year where people go to events and megas and everything else, and it'd be cool if you had a new cool shirt to wear to your event. So if you go, you can go to Art and Crafted products, Geocache-talk, and there will be, I think, a new link coming out soon as well. I'll find the new link and I'll put it out there here in a minute. But
man, I'm excited for that one, Gary, because I don't know about you guys, but it's like I have so many Geo shirts I love to wear, but then you go out and they get like prickered, like holes torn in them, like other stuff happening,
Yeah.
This is what I've just done. I found a place that kept advertising on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
I got it about making T-shirts into a blanket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, very cool.
And I took 30 event T-shirts. You have to cut off the front and back if you want to use it. Then you box them up and send them off. And it just came in. It's out in my truck. I want to go get
very
it. Very
cool.
Yeah, it came out really nice. A lot nicer than I expected. It
That's
stays in the drawer.
Yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that, Tim, because it's like, man, I got so many where some it's like you hate to get rid of them because of all the memories, but it's like they got holes and a little bit tattered. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to keep them for a long time, though.
Yeah, and they did a nice job. They put a back on it, a felt back, so it's pretty cozy.
Excellent.
It came out really well, so I'm happy with it.
Another item that I went and looked because after Podcast of Hope, we kind of put out the numbers as far as like how much we've raised that year, or in case or for 2025. And as I'm starting, I know people are like, "You're a crazy man," but it's March 1st. I've already preparing for the next Podcast of Hope, so and that's how I do it. About 9 months out, I got to start prepping and I got to start working on it. So I went and I looked at our information on last year, and it's changed. So I wanted to put out some new, actually like an updated number. So our goal for last year, our numbers have actually gone up. Wow. So we wanted to raise 15,000. We actually raised 16,435.03. The interesting thing about that is it brought us up over, and I'll make a banner for this real quick. But here's our new number for Podcast of Hope for the past 10 years. So we're now over 104.
Wow.
240.76. So we had another I think it was a $550 was given, and it works for the campaign for 2025. Kind of runs through, because their year goes through June. So yeah. So our numbers actually end up being a little higher, and I thought that was cool. I want to share that that's what we've been able to help raise for St. Jude. So if you still want to give, podcastofhope.com, it's still active.
Anytime.
Yeah. And then when we switch in June to the next quote campaign year, I guess you'd call it, or next giving year, the podcastofhope.com will get updated. And so anyway,
start all over again.
Yeah. So I was just really excited to see that. And then the other note I had to give to folks was from Ryan, Simmels123, wanted to point out that Geo Woodstock's shop date is closing actually March 15th. A lot of people may have been, the original date they were going to do it with was March 1st, but they've extended that deadline to March 15th, and we wanted to make sure and share that with everyone. Yeah. Thank you, fiscal year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah. And Ryan, if there's anything else, let me know or put it in the chat. But they've extended out a couple weeks, so you still have time to get your merch purchased, your swag for Geo Woodstock for this year. So excited for Kansas. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And on March 16th, somebody will complain that it closed too early. So
right.
You know what though? But are you guys still, like, my mind is just blown. I'm like, how is it March 1st already? You know?
I know.
It's crazy. It's insane. So my turn, Gary. Throwing it up to me.
Yes, sir. Go for it, buddy.
It's funny because my twig actually includes our guest. So
that's awesome.
My monthly event. He was at the monthly event. So that was that's over and done this week. We got that done. And then I'm still waiting on an Earth Cache to be approved so I can get my 500th find that I mentioned last week done, which is going to be a challenge. But it's a challenge for the 500th hide, and it's 500 events, so I cannot publish it until the other one gets published. So
right.
I'm just sitting and waiting on that one. I don't want them to go out of order. That'll be the one time that one gets like John's speed. It'll be like 30 minutes or something instead of a couple days.
Man. Yeah.
So I'm not going to hit submit until the other one gets done.
Yeah, you got to be careful. My Geo wears like in the express lane, man. Like
yeah. That would be my luck, right? Like 30 minutes on this one, 3 weeks on this one, and go out of order, and it'd ruin the whole. Like the whole page is written up for 500, my 500th hide and stuff. So,
nice.
But and then I'm still on my streak. So now we're in March, and only one day this year I've signed a log. I haven't signed any other logs this year other than one day. So and that one day was a hike, so it doesn't count.
Yeah,
the hike next to my house doesn't count, but. We've only done Earth Caches, virtuals, labs, and events all year long. So that's all out the window when we go to Europe on the cruise this summer. Obviously, I'm going to get whatever I can while I'm over there. But outside of that window, I'm going to see how long I can go and not sign any physical logs this year. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm sure I'll give it up at some point, but it's March. I didn't think I was going to make it to March.
An unstreak.
Yeah, it's like an unstreak, right? Like a virtual paperless logging or whatever, But and then this is funny. I was out caching today, and we stopped by a little library because I always got to look in there.
Yep.
And oddly enough, that was in the little library, which
it was
it's roadside geology
very nice.
Geology of Florida, which our guest is very familiar with. He cheats using that book all the time. So
hey,
to put out a bunch of stuff.
You do what you got to do.
I'll be cheating and trying to do this. So we'll see. I don't know. No, I'm not trying to do. Actually, the odd thing is I'm only trying to do them when I travel now. So, but if I find something good in the book, I mean, I could not pick that book up. It was in the little library.
No, that's a really good book. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all my
cool.
All my caching for the week is working on hides and stuff like that, and still on the streak, still on the logless streak. So
that's
we'll see how long it lasts.
And there are a lot, and I know you can add to them, Jesse, but there are a lot of cool earth caches in Florida.
Yeah. We have some weirdo down here that's like putting them out all the time. He just drives out the window. It's like, oh, there's one there. There's one there.
You're saying like throw down earth caches?
Yeah.
Throw down earth cache.
Jim's just flinging them out the window.
And we all know who's down here reviewing them, so they got to be good.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, was able to do. How many did I do? We did at least one of Jim's when we were down there for the Christmas cache.
You probably did more than that. Y'all did a bunch of them while you were down here.
We did. I don't know what our total was, but we did it.
You did earth caches on the way down?
Well, all over Florida, because we drove in, at the top, and then we went all the way to Key West and then came all the way back out. So we did. I mean, the funny part was when, because Don and I went and did all those, and went to Cache Odyssey, Florida, and went to the Christmas cache and all that. But as we were leaving, I made a comment just like, I wonder how many counties we got. She's like, yeah, you should have been checking, be more careful on that. It's like, oh dang, we ended up doing a lot of counties, but we didn't do all of them. But that's sort of that's for another show. But anyway, let's get started on this crazy thing. I read it. I didn't know, Jim, that you had done this, but I read this article in good old FTF magazine. We suggest people still purchase the magazine. Get you we don't give any physical things anymore as far as reading materials, such. So I think this is still one of the few things. A lot of people get them electronic, but
it's a lot more fun to get a physical copy, though.
It really is.
Yeah.
So
I found Spartacus. I'm in there for finding Spartacus.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
But as I was reading through it, I was like, oh, I did not know this. And it's all about the people. So I asked Jim if he would come on and talk about this. So this is crazy. This was a great article, because I'm like, holy cow. I'm just like, no way. I was looking at this and I was reading it and I was like, Jim, you've hosted an event in all 50 states.
Correct. Yeah. Just finished it this year.
And as far as we know, you're the only one that's ever done it. You and your wife are the only two that have.
Well, Kim is like my lady friend, but yeah. No.
Oh, lady friend. Yeah, I meant, sorry.
Yeah.
But
she's been a big part of it this year.
Yeah.
Absolutely been a big part of it.
But I was blown away. So, and you did some research, right? You checked on Project GC.
When I was about 30 events into it, I thought, well, let me see if I'm just kind of, spitting in the wind here, if I want to try and do this. And I contacted Project GC, and they couldn't put any query together that could tell me if there was anybody else had, X amount of hosting caches in X amount of states.
Right.
So I had to do a little bit of research for people that I know who have hosted a lot of events, and I came up with nobody.
It's crazy.
Somebody had 40. Somebody had 40, right?
Somebody's got around 40. You're a little over 40.
Right.
And he just stopped having events, because he used to travel around to mega events, and he would host in the different states that had mega events, and he just stopped doing it. He just, set up his priority somewhere else and stopped hosting events. But, that's my favorite.
I wonder how many people have even attended events in all 50 states.
Ooh.
I have.
Well, obviously.
Jim, you don't count. No,
Okay.
I'm kidding. So let's pop up the Wayback Machine and go back. So the first one you hosted was Williams, West Virginia?
Yeah.
Williams, West Virginia in 2015.
I was doing the Hatfield McCoy run.
Okay.
They had a mega event there, and the article says I kind of shied away from events,
Right.
because of their degree, their DT. And then I was focused on numbers and didn't want the 1-1 to affect, my DT. So I kind of stayed away from them. But then again, I wanted the icon to have at least one.
Sure.
Mhm.
So I hosted one while I was there staying at the Hatfield McCoy Inn, and it went pretty well. And it was months later that I had the second one, but in Kentucky. But that was a real nice attended event. And then we set off the next day to go do she had a geo art out there. I don't know if it's still there. It was a pig, the Hatfield McCoy pig
Right.
trail. And then you went and did those. And then she had a mega event a couple of years. But anyway, that's how it started.
Right.
It was my first event. I think it was 2015.
Right.
I think.
Now, what's interesting, we talked about this before the show started, was like, I wonder how long for all three of us it was from the time we attended an event until we actually hosted an event. Do you guys have any idea the gap between?
It's 10 years.
It was 10 years for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think mine was that long, but it's interesting.
I would go to them, but I wouldn't log them. Again, I was so focused on the DTs.
Oh,
I
God.
would go to hang out with friends. They would drive, but I wouldn't log them.
That's a crazy thing. Which,
Yeah, it is.
When you're about the numbers, sometimes that's a weird. That's a
It
weird.
was all about the DTs back that in the day.
Yeah.
It was all about having that high DT.
Kind of a weird stat right there, Jim. Is
Yep.
So you I mean in a sense
Going
hosting
crazy.
it sort of planted the seed, but yet at what point did you feel like you wanted to do more? Because I think some
When
people
did it eventually kick in for you?
Yeah.
In 2020, right when COVID started kicking off in March of 2020,
Okay.
I decided, and Kentucky hadn't fully shut down yet. Indiana had not shut down, and it never did shut down. So I started hosting events at can I say business names here?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
good.
well, I was at a coffee shop,
We're
and I
podcast.
formed a little group called the Potheads. Coffee pot.
Coffee
and,
pot.
My
That's funny.
first event with the Potheads was 420. Was April of 2020. And talk about reviewers fighting back. They just like, whoa, wait a minute, we can't. It's all about family and community,
You're like,
and you can't.
coffee.
Oh, no, time out. This is what it is. So it was at a Panera Bread, and they continue it today. I mean, there's a group of 8 or 9 that they continue. And I've been in Florida now since 2023.
Right.
They continue hosting there. That's really cool. Yeah, I created a coin. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
It's a pat tag, and that's the pothead. And all the original potheads, their initials are around the coffee pot.
Oh,
that's
nice.
cool.
Oh wow, that's
So
fun.
yeah,
That's a cool
they all
one.
got one. So that was
Yeah.
Then it kind of just took off from there. And I'd do 1, 2 a week, and then it slowly but surely started shutting down. So I had to go to Indiana, which is right across the bridge from Louisville.
Yeah.
And I would host them over there at different spots. And then the event numbers started to rise, but I really didn't start traveling until I retired from teaching, which was 2021.
Right.
And then I started hitting different states. Actually, I wanted a mountain bike coin, and he won't. John, he won't just send you a coin.
No.
You have to do it one-on-one. So I flew to Washington in December of, I think, 2019 or 20 to meet him. December, Washington.
Wow.
Snow.
Good luck, right?
I had an event there, and I had one in Idaho. I had one. It was in Spokane, and he came to both of them. So we had a little coin trading ceremony, which was like the highlight, for me, meeting one of the Beatles. So it was really cool.
It was.
And so I got to host those 2 places there. I tried to put an event in Montana, but the reviewer shut me down because it was in a mountain pass. I can head towards Billings, and there's no way to. And I went, okay, so. But that's how I got those 2 states.
That's interesting. I've never had one shut down for a location before.
Yeah, well, the pass was known for snowing and getting closed because of weather.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Like on 25 in Colorado.
Yeah,
it gets shut down. So
Yeah,
I didn't pay any attention to that, and I talked to mountain bike. I said, "Well, come on, can't you do a little arm twisting here?"
Yeah, really.
I really want Montana while I'm here. He said, "I'll go." And he says, "But I can't, go against what that reviewer's saying." I went, "Yeah, I understand." So that's all. That's all good.
So he wouldn't approve because Jesse's saying that is not true. He's tried crazy stuff that would never get approved. So
I was going to say, didn't Jesse try to host an event on a frozen pond, not on the shores of a frozen pond?
He's tried everything.
We did at midnight in Colorado. We absolutely did. Now, in fairness, you can drive a truck on those ponds in December, right? So it's not like it was super dangerous, but it was a little sketchy. But we had 30 people there, so it worked at midnight. So
that worked
at midnight on a frozen
I've
pond.
never had one, Jim. That's funny because I've never had one rejected, and we've done some dumb stuff for ours. But
they kept telling me they didn't think anybody would come because of where it was located. But I said, well, I got mountain bikes. He's going to come.
Yeah,
that's right.
They want to enter any of that. But
no.
I mean, they're probably right because it could be shut down.
Oh yeah, no, I was real happy afterwards because of the weather afterwards. It actually shut down. I would have been stuck up there. I was in a little small Toyota rental. Wasn't all-wheel drive. I was getting from Washington to Idaho was tricky enough. Getting from Idaho up to a mountain pass, and it was just the only legitimate location was up there. And Lookout Lisa has a virtual up there. So I thought, well, this would be a good spot, and this would be cool. Could do the virtual, this, that, and the other, and no, it didn't work out.
This
I'm Montana this last trip, so
this is hysterical because Jim and Jesse have a lot of very similar stories and things that they've done. They both taught. They both live in Florida. They both do this crazy stuff. And somebody else in our chat room wanted to chime in, and they said, if you're not pushing the limits, are you even geocaching?
That's right.
Jesse would say amen to that.
Well,
and that's from Charles. Charles put that out there. It's like,
if you're not doing crazy things like we're talking about tonight, it gets boring, right? So you got to try to set some crazy goal for yourself, or things like he's done. But if not, you're going to get tired. And you don't geocache for a year. You geocache for a decade or more, right?
Yeah,
many of us have been doing it for a decade, or some of us even 2 decades, right? So you got to push it a little bit. You got an event rejected. That means you were pushing it pretty good. So I like that. I respect that.
I love it. Yeah. It's just funny seeing some of the comments in the chat room. Been great.
Wait, is that the only one you've ever had rejected?
I've had pushback from other reviewers while I was trying to do this. Because I ended up, it was hard to find a place to eat for people, like to have events at eating venues. Yeah. So I always looked for places that already had event previous. It was hard to really get that squared away. So I started doing the hotel thing, and I always stay at the Hampton. So I never really had any issue with. I had reviewers say, "Well, you need to get permission. You need to get permission from them." Okay, so I finally contacted corporate, and they went, "Yeah, we don't care. Go right ahead." And I've never had that's free. They show up, coffee, breakfast. Do they want to have breakfast? They're all in. So I've never had, since I got corporate in permission, I never had a reviewer balk over the last 2 years at it at all, because I include all that in my reviewer note. And
that's great. Yeah.
Most of the time when you call a place, you're like, hey, I want to bring in 15, 20 people. They're like, yeah, we're a restaurant. It's fine. Come on in. We know how that works. Just bring your people in.
Well, the Hampton in the evenings, they have coffee all day long. So, it's always about the coffee. So so you could even have water. They have a little water spouts and containers, and then coffee all day long. And it just, it's all in the evenings. You got coffee in the morning, you got coffee in breakfast. So it's all good. So the people don't have to bring food if they don't want to. And I was doing that early on. I was having pizza delivered There we go.
There you go, John.
That was
Now
always
you're talking my love language, Jim.
and I didn't have to do that very often. So yeah,
Right.
even some of the hotels would even bring stuff out, like fruit bowls from the morning and help kind of mini cater it. So that doesn't happen often, but it does happen.
Yeah, that is awesome because you got a written note from Hampton.
Yeah.
And so when you give it to the reviewer, it's perfect kind of thing. So
for me, it's a perfect venue. I mean, I'm already there, so I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to seek out anything. I just put my hotel coordinates in and I'm off. I'm already I can, if we happen to have a few adult beverages, and I can just up to the room, saunter up to the room.
Stairs, I like it.
I'm already there. I don't have to drive anywhere.
You're already set.
Some of them have gone that way. So yeah.
Right. So a couple things.
Before we sing Jim's praises too much, I got to call him out for something. He knows what I'm going to call him out for too. This joker hosts events like every 5 minutes, right? But 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. What human being gets to go to these? Now it is Florida. It's fair,
Jim,
but
it's the land of the retired.
Well, and that is true. We have a lot of snowbirds here, so they're like, breakfast, that may be a little too early. How about like 10:30? Can we do that instead?
I'm sorry, Mr. 5:30 in the morning coffee event. So yeah, okay.
Hey, people showed up. Now, granted, it was just you.
Right. That's Jesse for your event, Jesse. That was when you lived in Colorado that you did for like a whole.
Oh, that's still going. It was going for several years. Our coffee event was like 5:30 in the morning every morning for like 8 years.
5:30.
But it was a pre-work. Work is this thing that a lot of people do.
I don't know what that is.
About it already, but a lot of people still have to go into a job and like you have to go beforehand. He's just kicking back, hanging out at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Go to a job. Yeah, 10 o'clock sounds much better.
Yeah. Yeah, stop. Retired people. That's not fair.
Yeah, come on, retired
my
guys.
Core group
Really,
is here.
really.
My core group in Louisville were pretty much retired.
Right.
They were retired before me, so they would always the 8 or 9 potheads were a mainstay. And here I've got a core that kind of come and go. So I try my event is at 10 o'clock, I'll be there at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
To help with the people who's got to come in, grab a coffee and a bagel, and off to work they go. So I try and accommodate everybody, and so they get that event.
Everybody, hold on. Are you going to be there at 5:30?
I try.
Because I got to get to work. I got to be at work by like 6:30. So what time are you getting there? 4:10.
Yeah.
Well, they open at 5:30. I mean, you're familiar with the 5:30.
He's familiar with it.
I'll be there. I was looking for the event. You weren't there at 5:30. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I've had them at 5:30 there.
Yeah. I missed in the show notes. Was this supposed to be a roast on Jim? Did I miss
We're going to
this?
sing his praises, but I had to got to set him back a notch first before we talk about how good he is the rest of the show.
Trust me, John. I'm used to being hammered, so that's okay.
That was a given. We're going to give him a hard time.
Now we can get back to talking about the cool stuff.
Yeah, a couple things I wanted to point out. One is Ryan wanted to give you, speaking of giving you a hard time, Ryan wanted to give you a hard time. Jim says that he thinks the Kansas reviewer gave you a hard time. Was that before Ryan was the reviewer, or was this Ryan?
No, I think it was before. Might have been him. I don't know. I didn't know he was the reviewer then.
Could be pre. Who knows?
He outed himself at my event, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
And that was one of the events that I had trouble with that I mentioned in the article. I've had a couple where I show up at the hotel and the hotel is under construction.
Oh, dang.
In 2024, most of the Hamptons changed over all their scenery.
Right.
So I would show up and the breakfast area was full of construction materials. And I went, oh, shit. What am I going to do now? So they would always, and the couple times that's happened, they've let me have their conference room.
Oh, wow.
So we just kind of moved in there. And that particular event, that's where it ended up, was in their conference room.
Right.
It's funny.
Nice.
Danielle says I don't do coffee. So do you have tea? Come on, Danielle.
Tea and water and
there's water and tea. There's hot
stones,
water for tea. I mean, you can't There's no excuses here. We're not allowing excuses for these kind of things.
She comes to my events. Danielle comes to my event. She's a good person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We love.
All right, so let's get back on track here. Like
I'm trying to keep you on.
We're not good at keeping on track. So
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Get back to you starting to travel and do these events.
Okay.
Like early on, did you do? Because there was a point where you tipped over, but before that, like you just started traveling doing events. You were just doing them because you were traveling, right?
I was just doing them to be doing them as I went,
Right.
and because it just gave me something else to do, and I enjoy meeting people and meeting different cachers. And as I mentioned in the article, it's fun to talk to them about the different people in the different states, the different areas, their take on geocaching and how they look at it and why they're doing it.
Right.
So yeah, before I was just hosting them to be hosting them, and then it started catching on. Then I said, okay, well, I'll get this state and I'll get this state and get this state, and then that's how it really kind of picked up steam in 2023, and went from there. And then I pretty much would knock out 7 or 8 as I was going to major events like Woodstock in Arizona and Flagstaff, and then I cut across and did a lot of the lower northern states, and came back down. And then I went to Coin Fest in Syracuse, knocked out quite a few there. And my goal was to get to that Odyssey in New York, but I didn't quite make it.
Oh, Jim.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to do the Eternal Flame. That was on my list, and I couldn't quite swing it. I had to get to my son's house, who lives in Augusta, and my grandkids live there, so I had to get there for a specific date. So I had to adjust some time.
I think those items are in Canada. I don't think they're in New York.
No, Gary, they're in New York.
They're in New York.
They're like up in New York, Canada, but we haven't done it yet.
I just gotta say, Jim, when you come back to New York, you let me know, man, because I'll meet you at Cache Odyssey, New York, Pickle Pizza. We can have an event on there.
That'll
Go
work.
to Eternal Flame. Do it all, man. You let me know.
That sounds good to me. I've heard nothing but good things about both. So I really wanted Marlin 01. He just, when I went to Coin Fest, he really talked them up, and they were on my possible list. I got different lists for everything, and I really want to get there. And he says, "Yeah, you got to go." And it just didn't work out. The time just caught up to me, and I had to get down to Georgia. So
you did.
That's still on my list. I've got 36 Odysseys now, and I missed out on a couple along routes that were close to my routes, but that I have to get to.
You're getting in that number where you're kind of starting to have to like plan for completion. So
that's all I do that's all I've done is plan. And especially this last year, it was all about earth caches and Odysseys along the way. And I created a list, and I write paper lists. I don't do that.
Oh my, old school
paper list.
Old school stuff.
I try and go, state I don't have an event in, didn't have an event in, and there's a Cache Odyssey nearby. It doesn't have to be not necessarily state, and hopefully pick up an earth cache, do an earth cache. Because I've got earth caches in 36 states too. So I'm trying. That's something else I'm trying. It's not really a goal, but if I could think that would be cool to finish. So
Oh yeah.
So that's
sure.
But I really want to see something. I try and travel back roads because it's the road cuts, it's the hillsides, it's the really neat things that you see in the back roads that you can really create earth caches in. And
absolutely.
I found a real good earth cache in Missouri. That was a road cut. It was coal seam, which was a unique thing in Missouri. And then I found a glacial erratic along another one of the back roads that I do an earth cache on. But so those were my 3 focuses this last trip. And then I wanted to do Alaska. Alaska always was a plan for my 50th state.
The last one, right?
I wanted Sitka because the oldest cache in Alaska is in Sitka. I thought, okay, well, I can do Sitka. I can fly up to Anchorage, and I can get the Odyssey. I can do this. I can do that. But, then there's the weather to think about. So I called their Chamber of Commerce in Sitka, and they say, well, that's a good time to come, except all the parks will be closed, but the bears will be asleep. You won't have to worry about the bears. Well, I can't get to the one I want to get to. So I ended up flying to Anchorage, and I got to meet the Anchorage reviewer, and he's also an Earth Cache reviewer. And he's a really cool guy. He's like,
oh wow,
one of the coolest guys I've ever met. He kept when I told him what I wanted to do, he said, well, you got to rent a car because you want to get because we did the Cache Odyssey. Kim and I, we wanted to do the Cache Odyssey.
Right.
And so and I thought, well, God, it's Alaska. It's November. And that's when we went, was in November. And I said, this mountain, it's got to drive through this mountain pass. It's a 2-hour drive on a nice day from Anchorage. And so he kept he said, well, you got to rent a Subaru. You got to have an all-wheel drive. Then he came back to me. He goes, no, wait a minute. I tell you what, you can borrow my car. I said, man, you don't know me from Adam. I mean, of us talking, and you might have looked at my profile or something. You don't really know who I am. He goes, well, wait a minute. I tell you what, I'll pick you up, and we'll all go. I said, I've got caches down that road, down the highway. He says, we'll do some maintenance, and I'll take you both down there, and we'll stop and we'll do caches along the way, and we'll do my maintenance and this, that. And I went, I'm in.
Yeah, no kidding.
So he shows up with a spreadsheet. It's got like 75 caches on it. And I went, there's no way we can do all these. I said, I have an event at 6:00 that I have to get. And I said, that's really one of the main reasons I'm here is to get this event. And he goes, we'll make it. We'll make it. So we took off early. It was dark, of course, most of the day because that time of year. So we made it to the Cache Odyssey, knocked it out, did a lot of his cache maintenance. We found some really cool caches and did some Earth caches there and came back. We probably did maybe 25 out of his 75 off his list. So we made it back, and he called ahead, and they always have this event at a local eatery. He called ahead to everybody he knew. They have it really set up really nice in Alaska. They've got a committee for the whole state, and they have a treasurer and a president. And so he called him up and said, hey, I'm here with Team Conway. He's, he got his event tonight, but let's meet up at this place to eat a little pre-event. So he rounded up.
Oh, it's great.
All the Alaskans, and they all met there. We all, gathered around to eat, and then we all went back to the hotel and hung out. And they brought out their little Alaska store for their club, and he gave us all, Kim and I both, gave us all path tags for different things. People were trading path tags, and then you could buy stuff from them. So it was I was really happy that worked out that way because he went above and beyond. He was contacting Kim too. He was sending her the spreadsheet and says, well, talk to him and tell him to do these. And we do these. And Kim and I planned on doing the event, maybe 4 or 5 caches around the hotel because it's deep snow. But he came aboard and just, again, I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome.
That's
and
incredible.
He took us by the hand and led us right to the Cache Odyssey. And he hadn't done it yet. So that was even cooler.
Oh, wow.
And we all got to do it. And it's like a gadget kind of thing, really cool gadget kind of thing too, because you got to play with it and get it lined up just right. And so I got to do that, and he was real excited about that. He was talking, I don't know, it's like a welcome center or a kind of thing for the area, right? And he was talking to him about that, and so while I opened up the box, and we had a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now you said, I'm going to get this straight because we glossed over it, but you've done all 50 states for hosting an event.
Yep.
You've done 36 Cache Odysseys.
Yep.
And 36 states for Earth caches. Is that finding or hiding?
Hiding.
Oh, okay. Wow. See, I think
I've got all 50 states as far as finding Earth caches.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So,
but it's 36 hiding.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Jim, does anybody have like Earth caches hidden in all 50 states?
I don't know. I haven't looked at that. I don't keep track. Again, I'm a visual kind of guy. So I've got this map that I've got all my points on with states I have events in and Earth caches in.
Excellent.
So cool. And also I actually use a map. So
that's cool though that you've got you have at least 3 things that you're going to do in every state when you go to a new state. Not a new state. I tried to.
Yeah. And Cache Odyssey is now like a focus. So I'm already planning the next road trip. If I go to Hutchinson, which I hope I make it to Hutchinson.
Kansas for Geocache.
So there's a couple Odysseys headed that would depend on which way I go that I don't have.
Right. So just a quick note for folks, if you do have a question for Jim or for us or whoever, and put it in the chat room. If we haven't got to it yet, it doesn't mean we haven't seen it, because we see all comments, and but we put a little star by it, and then toward the end of the show, John will go through all the starred items. I did want to mention that we're having people who have got to see you at different events. We have Andrea says, "Hello from Montana. It was great to meet you." And
Glendive was awesome.
Glendive.
She was the only one there. She was the only one there, and it was like at a casino hotel. It wasn't a. It's funny I remember this, but it wasn't a Hampton, but it had a casino next to it, so people were coming in, all just to go. So she was the only one at that event, so it was really, really cool to meet her.
Very cool.
And I put out an Earth Cache right down the road.
Have you had one where you were the only one that showed up?
It's been close because I didn't think no, but she was the not that I recall,
right?
But she was the only one at that event.
You've had events where you mentioned in the article, the FTF magazine, that you've gone from two attendees to 50.
Yeah, those are all the 50. The large ones were around mega events.
Right.
So I've contacted, and I try not to interfere with mega events.
Right.
So I either try and go a couple of days, have an event earlier or after the mega event week is over.
Right.
Right beforehand. So I'll contact, and the guy in Flagstaff who ran that one was real nice. And he says, "Yeah, we'll have it." So I had all their committee show up at my event. It was like over 50 people that didn't plan on it because you get 20 will attends and 50 is going to show up.
Right.
So you never know exactly how many. And Jesse had that same kind of issue at his event this past week. We had like 6 people put a will, and then like 18 showed up. So you never know, but it's always fun when that happens, and especially when you get, because lackeys will show up because they're at the mega event, and you get to meet reviewers because they'll show up. So it's always kind of cool. And the same kind of thing happened at CoinFest. Marlon was real good about it, letting me have an event, and all his people showed up, and a lot of people, just added another event to their calendar and showed up. So we're just like 40 or 50 there too. So I've had 3 or 4 that had in the 50s. So it's good. It's fun.
Did you approach them? Well, some of them were, like you said, you didn't know, but you got a really cool pattern of what you were doing. Did you, when you saw that you were going to get a lot of attendees, did you try to change up the way you did things, or did you feel like that your format was pretty good?
When I see I'm going to have quite a few people, I like to do drawings too.
Okay.
Raffles. So I kind of panic at that. So when I have a raffle at a hotel or a big event, I generally don't have a log for people to sign because
right.
But at mega big events or hotel events, I'll make a piece of paper and I'll number it, and they sign by whatever number they want, and I'll draw out something with that number on it, and that's how my raffles work. So when I do panic a little bit so I have to add stuff. I always carry a lot of giveaways, coins and swag and different things to give away for raffle prizes. So when I have a lot of people, it's kind of dicey sometimes to come up with, to have stuff for them.
No, we have a special guest in the chat room. We need to highlight it.
Go for it.
I can't. You have to do it. It's the last one. There you go.
That's my daughter.
Your daughter.
That's my youngest daughter. Yeah, very cool.
Very cool. That is
awesome.
Jim,
in the beginning, did you you don't do logs now? And I've been to several events, obviously. Did you in the beginning? Did you have a log? Did you kind of keep up with that, or did you just
in the beginning? I've got a binder that I write people's names in. I don't make them sign if they don't want to. If they want to, they can. Because a lot of people insist I have to sign my name to a log. So okay, fine, just sign my book, or I'll just write their name in the book. So I have an historical record of all my events. I can look back on dates and say, well, they were there, that kind of thing. Compare dates to how many came on this February 28th versus, 2 years ago, February 28th. Wow. So I keep a historical record, but I really don't make people log stuff unless I'm going to have like today, I had a CETO, and I had it filled out, and I had a raffle at the end, and I had 25 people, and they just signed at whatever number they felt lucky, and I drew stuff out of a box that had that number on it, and you number 6, and you get this, number 7, you get this. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I try and do that for those type of events, but not all of them. I can't do it for all.
Yeah.
So, and Ryan was very helpful early on with that because he would let me buy stuff from him, coins from older events.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I met him.
So Ryan's like 6 states worth.
I think he's met me more than that.
Maybe more than that.
Yeah, oh yeah, he gets around.
That's hysterical.
So yeah, he's been very helpful through the years.
So one thing I want to rapid fire you. We're getting sort of toward the end, and so Jim, I want to rapid fire you several events, and you just kind of tell the audience why you highlighted these. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, the ones I mentioned. And that article was twice that long.
Oh, I know you told me.
That guy made me cut it back because I went into grave detail. And he says it's got to be 750 words. I went, how am I going to do that? So I had everything in there, and it was just a grand article. I said, well, I want a whole page. I said,
right.
Really, and I've written many articles for him, and but he threw the 750 words at me. I went, how in the world am I going to do that?
Get down to that.
So you've got that's more the Cliff Notes version of the whole thing. So.
Right.
You need your own issue, just like you just get a whole.
Almost did.
Ooh, yeah, Team Conway did. I like
that
it.
might be a little pricey, All
right, here we go. Ready? Okay. Medford was in 2024. I love Medford. That was in Oregon. Beautiful, beautiful country. And I went to the Cache Odyssey in Oregon, which is you really got to want that Cache Odyssey because it's out there. And I put 2 earth caches along that road going out there. By the way,
you go.
I got to throw those out there. So yeah, and that's just a beautiful, beautiful country. Met great people.
Yeah,
I really did not anticipate liking it so much. And that if I had to pick 5 places, to live, that would probably be one of them. And I really enjoyed Medford a lot. And those people
were great.
Have it going on. They're just so friendly. And they had other events while I was there. And they've got a guy, and I can't. It's bad. I can't think of his name. He makes coins for a lot of his events, and he gave me a handful of coins.
Neat.
And they're really, really friendly. And I can't speak highly enough of Medford. It's just a beautiful place. Really, really interesting politically wise too. So I won't go into that, but it's really, really cool place.
Cool. How about Bluff?
Bluff is one of Utah. That's one of my favorite spots. That's one of my highlights. And that I traveled from Flagstaff up to Bluff, went through Monument Valley into Bluff, Utah, and I met the Earth Cache Utah reviewer there, and Bluff is just it's like Colorado. Every place is an Earth Cache,
right?
All this beautiful rock, it's just everywhere, and they're all in these great shapes. Like, oh my God, this, how can I leave this place? And it's just gorgeous. And I met that reviewer, and he goes, while we're here, he says, I have a virtual that I need to put out. He said, I'd like for you to go with me. And I went, well, that's cool. I would really love to do that. But it was a rock that a wagon train master had carved in the stone along the wagon trail. And I went, we drove out there. I've got a Toyota 4Runner, and he had one of these ATVs, and he took off like a rocket, and it's 2 miles into the desert.
Wow.
And I'm driving and trying to follow it through creek trails and stuff in my 4Runner. And we get there, and we walk 2 miles past it because he had been there years before. And it ended up being right almost 150, 200 feet from where we parked to where we found it. And that's his virtual. And I think only 2 people have been there. So I was really, really happy about that, meeting him. He was really nice. And to invite me out there to help him put out his virtual was,
awesome.
Kind of a highlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hayes.
Kim and I went through Hayes this year. I did not have an event in Hayes, but I stopped there, and it's just a beautiful college town, and the people were just really friendly. And again, you can't go wrong.
It's Kansas? Yeah.
Kansas.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was Kansas.
We were coming back from Colorado from Coin Fest, and we were hitting different spots and trying to. We had just gone to Topeka. We had just done the Cache Odyssey in Topeka, which is another really cool Odyssey. And we went through Hayes and.
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I'm a big historian too. I love history, and it's got a lot of history there, and it's just, you can't go wrong. That's another one of those spots that you have to think about. If you plan on retiring somewhere else, and those three are on the top of the list. Yeah,
I got one more, and then we'll get on to another part of the topic. We'll start to get to the wrap up. But
okay,
you also mentioned Portland. So what was special about Portland?
Well, I already talked a little bit about Portland. That's where I met a mountain bike.
Oh, okay.
That was we talked about that in the pre thing, but
we did.
But yeah, I've got to meet mountain bike. In mountain bike, you have to meet him face to face to trade a coin.
Get your coin.
And I really wanted his coin. That was the first one of the I had. I have 4 of them now. I have 4 of the 6.
Oh wow,
that's a thing. So yeah, I wanted to actually meet him. And we become friends. So we communicate back and forth. But that was my Portland and the Idaho Odyssey, not the Odyssey, actually the traveling Odyssey.
Yeah.
To get into that because of the weather, because it was December, and then the Montana story, not being able to get the event
right
in Montana. So was that Portland? I don't remember if that's Portland, Oregon or Portland, Maine. Portland, Maine this past year, Kim and I went up there to do an Earth Cache travel thing with Gary Lewis.
Oh,
that's when he lived. That's when he lived up there.
Right.
And we got to travel around and go to different Earth Cache locations. Wow. And I had an event there and met a lot of people that I've got to know and have gone out to other Gary Lewis events with. So that's that was a couple of Portland's different times a year, but both really nice.
Right.
Very cool. So we're gonna get to questions. I know. Have you had anything weird happen at events? Like this, a lot of events to go perfectly smooth.
God, I
know you haven't brought any of those up. Here, I'll get you started. I missed my own event before.
Oh,
I've done that. I've been late traveling and have to, as I'm driving because of traffic, have to adjust on the fly. I'm moving this back, or I've had people message me say, "I'm here. Where are you?"
Right.
I'm coming. And then me get there and them be gone. So I've had those kind of issues, and you're going to have those. There's going to be snafus no matter what you do or how well you plan. And I try and I'm an old infantry guy, so I try and plan methodically, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. Nothing really ever really crazy. What's that?
I was in the wrong state, like 5 states away when I missed mine.
Oh my God!
No, I was never that far. I was
It was not my fault. I was stuck for 3 days in an area because of planes.
Oh, that's true. You were.
Oh, that's great.
I remember that.
People were like popping up on the thing, like, "Hey, we're here. Where are you at?" I'm like,
"You missed the whole state." That's Jesse's. Not only that, he missed the whole state. You never found that state, have you?
Still don't have Idaho. Yes, that's correct.
It's still there, Jesse. I think let me get you a list. Hang on, I'll send you a list of caches that are in Idaho.
I'm aware. It's not even the next state I'm going to. I'm going to Oregon first. I've got to get the.
You can do both of them.
I mean
Medford. You need to get the Medford. I flew into San Francisco, and I did not realize. I was looking at the closest town where I could have an event from San Francisco, and I said, "Okay, Medford." Put a pin in the map. Didn't know it was a 5-hour drive. Go through this mountain pass
to another state,
but it was like you're driving, and all of a sudden you're in Oz. It's just really beautiful.
Yeah,
so you're like, wow, I'm so glad I came here. So, it's a lot like San Francisco too, but Medford is up there.
Incredible. All right, so John, we have some questions we want to go through.
We got some questions, and start out. We got Mr. Tom Brotherman saying he got the new season of Cito's Souvenirs today. So big shout out to Tom for doing that. That's pretty awesome.
Good job, Tom.
But yeah, Quincy Cryptid is wondering how far ahead of time did you have to plan, Jim, for typically your events?
for a road trip, I would start months ahead of time. And I would get my map again, like show and tell. You can see all the lines.
Oh God!
All the circles. So, yeah, these are all. This is my old map. I had AAA. You still get these at AAA, by the way. So you can
hysterical.
See. Yeah.
Look at that.
So I would start months out when I would decide to do this, and I would generally try and go in the fall because it's just prettier and it's cooler.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd plan those out. I need to go here to here to here, and I would draw it out. And I would see if there's a Hampton close by because I'm stuck on Hampton. You get points for that. So yeah, and it's just it takes a while to plan. You can always cancel your reservation if it doesn't work out. So, but but it takes a great deal of planning because you do have to submit the event, and sometimes I get over and you can't go over 90 days. So I have to really look at a calendar and plan it out and this, kind of dot it out and then look on the map and plot it out.
Excellent.
It takes a lot to do, but typically a month to 2 to 3 months out when I know what I want to do. And a lot of times I'll be sitting here and I'm like, hey, I want to do this. And it'll just come to me and I'll think, okay. So my mind works in mysterious ways. So I try and all these ideas. I have an A-type personality. So I got all these lists in my head going. Got this plot, got to go here, got to go there, got to go here. So yeah, it works out in the head first, and then you go to the map, then you write it, and I write it all out.
Yeah,
because I have to see it. I write it all out. I want to go here, I want to go there, and draw lines, try and adjust. So it takes a lot to get it all done, but it generally works out. You have some, like I said, you have some snafus, but that's going to happen in anything.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And this last trip, I put 8,100 miles on my truck. So that was like the longest trip. 8,100 miles. So I went from Tampa. I went up through Indiana, Illinois, North Dakota. I went Wisconsin, Mississippi, Wisconsin. I went to North Dakota. Went across into Montana. And then I came back. And I had like 3 events in Montana, and I came back and hit South Dakota, and then dipped south towards the event in Colorado, and and then from Colorado I came back to Florida.
Right.
Very cool. Well,
Right.
speaking of snafus, Jim,
The CoinFest trip.
Oh yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where we sat around the table and talked.
Yeah.
It was at CoinFest. Yeah.
Yeah. Jim and I in crew had a little spot we had. We got there and we joked about, and this is probably something that happens too for people that have go to events and stuff, is that we're like, we'll be here for an hour and we're going to head out after that. And our group was like helping put the tables and chairs away at the end. It's like we stayed for the whole thing. So it was great fun, but rental cars are the best.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that on some trips, but I like driving my truck. I would think a lot clearer. I guess it gives me time to think further ahead and stop here, and then I can stop. I don't feel bad about stopping and getting caches along the way. And but yeah, I've rented cars before, and that is a good way to go. But I like driving my truck. She's been back and forth to the West Coast probably 4 or 5 times. So,
dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Going from I-10 all the way across.
Right.
70 all the way across. 25 and then 80 all the way across. So, yeah. We've seen some roadage, some mileage.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more, John. Do we want to cover?
We got one more, Jim, and it's speaking of snafus. High Speed Mom 2012 wants to know: have you ever been caught off guard getting to your event on time because of a time zone difference?
Time zones.
That almost happened this past weekend. Coming back to Bamarama.
That's hysterical.
Because that section of Florida is on Central Time.
Oh yeah.
And if you're not paying attention,
got the cut.
You get caught in that. But I have been caught up in that I had an event in Texas that I don't know why there was some kind of magnetic thing going on at the same time. The clocks were screwy, like an hour this way and an hour that way, and then the time it actually was. So I always like to get to my events early, and I was at an event. It was called the Snake event. That's where Vince Rowe had put out the snake out there, and we did all these caches. And I had an event to kick that off, and I thought I got there an hour early, but I was an hour late.
Oh no!
Oh, wow.
Like, how can this be? My clock says it's 6 o'clock now. He goes, no, but it was like 3 different time zones in the same spot.
Yep.
Like, walk across the street, it's 5 o'clock. You stand here at 6, and over there it's 7 o'clock.
Got a break.
That's not right.
Yeah.
So it does happen, but not as often as you would think.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go through and have some final thoughts, and then Jim.
I do want to show my coin though.
Oh yeah,
I was in the magazine. This I've got, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
This is a Chris Mackey design.
Yeah, well, Chris is awesome.
Yeah, I've done 5 different metals. Jeannie from Oak Coins is my go-to. Well, she deals with Chris, and they do a great job. And
that's awesome looking.
And I've got this bronze one with the orange, and then I've got 3 other colors, 3 other metals.
Nice.
So I won't show them all, but
That's
these are all the examples. So there's 25 of each, and I got people to hand those out to who supported me through all this madness. And then I'll have some to trade, of course, but yeah.
Now that's a good reason to make a coin for a huge accomplishment like that, because you'll never get a challenge published for.
I was going to ask you about that, Jesse.
Yeah.
He can't do a challenge, can he?
No, there's no way.
Dang,
because you'd have to find a reasonable amount of people that have also done it, and you're not going to find a reasonable amount of people that have. Well, you can't do it for hosting them anyway, but you could do it for attending them. But you're not going to find many people at all, if any, that have attended events in every single state.
There are, but not if you're going to publish something locally. You're not going to find 10 localish cachers.
No, definitely not.
No.
Even for state,
there may be 10 in the U.S. total, or but not in one area.
I can't even answer that. I've never even looked at that.
Yeah.
What if it was just you wanted to do it for 10 events instead of 50?
Well, you can't do it for hosting events, but you can do it for attending events.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah.
Different little thing. Well, I'll go first, and we'll get Jim go last. But again, Jim, thank you so much for being on.
I appreciate you having me. Like I said, wasn't to me. It's not the most sexiest topic, but it was fun.
It's fascinating.
I think it's a great challenge for people. Like people don't think things can be done until somebody tries and goes and does them.
I found it fascinating. Had great time hanging out with you in Colorado, and the funny thing is that I'm trying to work out, and this is something that's kind of funny, because I'm trying to do more events this year and attend events. I've been to a bunch more than I normally do, and so
you probably drove right by 3 of mine on your way down to the Christmas cache.
Yeah, probably did. But
it's 10 o'clock events.
Yeah,
that's right in the middle of the day, random
10 o'clock events. But I'm working on an event in Helsinki. And so looking forward to all of us going to go do the match stash in Stockholm, south of Stockholm. But we are working on adding some events to our worldwide cache cruise, and so I'm really excited for that. And anyway, so I found this fascinating. I'm so glad you came on to talk about it. So
I appreciate you asking.
Absolutely.
You had to twist my arm, and Jesse was
you're
gonna love it. You're gonna do good. My ego goes only so far. So
you're good. So I'll let John or Jesse go next.
All right, yeah, I'll go and then let John, because I want to point something out. John also has an event goal for this year, so he can talk about that too.
Cool.
But he's already done part of it, right? One of the 3. So
one schedule. So
so you're on number 2 then, because you already did 1, right?
No. Of the
I'll talk first. Okay.
Yeah. So I have the first one scheduled. So Jim, Jesse challenged me to host 3 CETOs, right?
Okay.
So I got the first one scheduled in April. I'm going to book the next one, and I'm going to save one for the fall so I can do this.
Cool.
On this side, because actually, believe it or not, I've never hosted a CETO before. And Jesse, like, he roasted you. He thoroughly shamed me on the show. he said something like, "Bro, you help out with trails and you've never organized a CETO.
That's your
What's
job.
up with that?"
That's literally your job.
So,
it is.
So I'm like, okay, the challenge has been issued. I have to step forward on this one.
Well, it's funny because off the air, right before we started, Jim said he's going to go back now in all 50 states and host a CETO. So I just when we get to him, he'll announce.
Oh man, that's so good! Oh my God, don't put any more ideas in my head.
No, I think it's a huge accomplishment, and I know you don't see your own accomplishments as big as other people do because you've done it, so you know it's possible. But like, I think it's inspiring to try something like this, like Anne got the Cache Odysseys like immediately. I think she rented a jet and just flew around everywhere. And people do things like this, and like a lot of people go through their whole geocaching career without even caching in 50 states ever, right?
Well, and I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot when they'll say, "Well, I've only been to the states around me," and they've been caching. They've got 25,000 caches, and they've only been in 4 or 5 states. I went, how was that possible?
Well,
they just don't go out. And the older cachers, they don't venture out either. Well, some of them do, but some up west in the West just don't want to leave. They don't want to go venture out. They don't want to go to megas. They have no desire to go to large events. Don't want to do an AL. That's the anti-cache is the AL. So they don't want to do any of that. They just want to do what they do. Right. And they're very happy with it.
And I love that. Yeah. I love that is my favorite part besides getting out and exploring, because even if geocaching didn't exist, I'd still be traveling, right? Because that's what we did before it and what we'll do after or whatever. But I think my favorite part of the game is the fact that like some people may never attend an event and be happy about it. And great, that's awesome. There's so many different ways to enjoy this game that it's hard to get bored with it, because you can always invent some new thing to go after, like something crazy like host an event in 50 states, or somebody wants to get all the virtuals in the country or attend or go to every county in the whole country. That may just jazz them up, and that's awesome. Good for them. You know what I mean? That's awesome. And then there's a whole other sections that like, well, I don't care about any of that. I want to do this. And I think that's what keeps the game so strong for people, because obviously you're a list person or you're not in geocaching, and you have the desire to get out and do fun stuff. And there's a bunch of us ADHD people in this game that would get bored if it was just like one thing you can do and that's it. Right. But there's so many things you can do with this game that it's just, I think it's inspiring when somebody comes up with a new thing. Like, I've logged 80 million photos on my caches. Crap, I didn't even know that was a thing you could do.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's super fun. So
it's unique.
Yeah, it's unique. Exactly.
I've got a Latin phrase on my coin. I mean, like I said, I'm retired military, so everything, all our units always had Latin as mottos, and it's Novus Amiscus Farce per Viam, which means making friends along the way. And
that's awesome.
And that's really what it was all about. And again, telling the stories about the different people and the different aspects on caching it was really fun. It was really fun to me, and I've write some of this stuff down. But yeah, that was my favorite part about it all. When they would sit down, they would sit there with me and just tell me, or stay after the event just to talk to me about what they wanted to do and what I've done and what they possibly could do. And so it was I don't know, it was like a giant. I don't know. It was a really fun time, and meeting those people was really meaningful to me. So I enjoyed it the whole way.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
I think, John, we're gonna let you have last word.
Yeah. So Jim, I just got to thank you, because I know for me, and it was really interesting hearing, I think, from all of us, like when we attended our first event and then when we hosted our first event.
Yeah.
And it just seems like there's such a theme for so many cachers of like going to an event, waiting too long to go to an event, where it's just like so many cachers like start. And I know for me, I don't think I went to my first event for maybe like 2 or 3 years when I started caching.
Right.
Well, you learn so much. I mean, I don't want to interrupt you, but you learn so much by going to events.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many, again, points of view and the puzzle solving events, people who, get clues from this puzzle or that puzzle, or you form your own little mini groups out of events. If it's a local thing, and you go caching together. So, or you get to go, if it's on a weekend or something, you meet up with cachers and they'll say, well, let's go do this trail. There's 15 tours, really neat gadget caches, and we'll go do these. So that, it's always fun to do that. So, Oh yeah.
And I think that's a big thing, because I know for me, like right now, like I was checking caches in our area and I saw some new cachers, and I don't know about you guys, but it's an exciting time for me, kind of in that like March, April, when you see newer cachers starting to find caches.
Yeah, right.
And I think, like that message of getting people to events and getting people to host events too, I think that is just like so incredible to do. And I think you inspired quite a few people. There's this guy, Ryan Semmel, 2123, says he's only been to a few states. And believe it or not, Jim, I think just due to what you were saying, he's going to try to start to attend events this year too.
Huh.
He might have one somewhere. I don't know.
Wow.
Nah.
Good for him.
I think he's going to will attend on one of his events.
Yeah, if he's only been to a few states and now he's like hosting an event, everybody should be more like Ryan,
Oh, yeah.
I think this is what we're hearing.
Ironically,
especially when he wears his Bucky outfit.
No, gosh, yes.
When he wears his Bucky up, that's Ryan. That's his persona. That's just awesome. Anybody who can feel comfortable walking around in a hotel and his Bucky's out. Yeah, that's easy.
I was going to say, I saw the pictures and it looked very natural for him. I'll say that.
Great personality. Yeah, good dude.
We went to, Jim and I went to an event where Ryan was Bucky the Beaver. So I don't know if that was a good event or not. I'm still debating, but Ryan will be on next week, so that we'll have to hit him up for that. But I think at that point we'll let Jim. Did you have a kind of a final thought?
Well, I just like to say thanks, for you guys for having me on, and thanks for everybody from the Potheads group in Louisville to the folks here in Florida who support me and support the events and support whatever events we try and put on. I appreciate everything that they do, and the folks across the country who've come to all my events. God, I hope I get to see you again. And it's fun because they'll come to an event like at a mega and say, well, yeah, I saw you in Illinois. You was at your Illinois event. I was at your Montana event. Oh, that is really cool. It sends, I get a little goosebumpy thinking about that. But that happened a couple times at Bamarama this year, and I enjoy that.
Awesome.
So, I appreciate everything. All those people who came out, all the strange hours, whether it's at night, going home from work, stopping at the hotel to get some coffee and chat for a while, or coming in the morning before work on a weekend or whatever. So I appreciate all of them. And it all started really with my Pothead folks, and it's gone from there. And the folks in Florida have been very supportive as well. So I appreciate all of them.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks. Appreciate that. And we have what we have coming up.
So Tuesday we got Puzzle Talk coming up. Charles and Tom are going to be doing some Pi Day puzzles. For Puzzle Talk. Yeah, so stay tuned for that one. That's going to be at 9 Eastern on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central on that one.
That's incredible. We can't wait for that. Mm-hmm. Again, thanks, and we'll see you, everyone, down the road. Go get an event done. It'd be perfect. Yeah. Get one scheduled. So, again, thanks. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Take care, everybody.
May your finds be many and your DNFs be few. May the terrain and difficulty both be less than 2. And whatever it is you're looking for, may it find its way to you. And may we all meet again.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.